I have always been an advocate for using drugstore mascara, but part of my job now is to try out new products and to let you know if I like them or not, and if it's worth your money. This is definitely worth it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a full glam today. This is going to be a monthly series where I basically apply new products that either just launched or that are new to me. Whether I'm going to be doing a full glam or more of a no makeup look, it just depends on how I feel. But tonight we are going full glam. I cannot wait to talk through some of these amazing and some of these not so amazing launches that just happened at the top of 2026. Happy New Year, by the way. And I'm also going to walk you through a few new launches when it comes to skincare. There is this one product that just left my jaw dropped to the floor. Let's get started. We'll start with skin prep. There's a few new products. See how I am pretty red here. So I have been definitely going through perimenopause. My skin will get red. There's really nothing I can do other than use cold rollers, right? However, there is this new product that just came out and I'm going to test it out for the first time. Dew Intense Recovery Cream. It says that this is a reparative all-over recovery cream packed with soothing antioxidants. Some people say that they've seen instant results. So let's put this to the test. I'm going to go in first with the Rhode Peptide Glazing Milk. And since we're going to be doing a full face of basically all new products that I haven't tested out yet, I need to make sure that I am properly prepped and that whatever I use doesn't pill under makeup, and this does not. The Peptide Glazing Milk is considered more of a toner rather than a serum, FYI. I have most of my lighting off, but I just really wanted you to see the before. I only have my vanity lights on. It's just so random. I just will feel like I'm red right now on my chest. I'll feel just like this instant crazy heat within my body. I just have to wait till it settles. It does eventually. But I think this could be considered a hot flash. I believe that these types of topics should be discussed more because there's not a lot of information when it comes to menopause in general. And I think for people who may have something similar and all of a sudden sees their face and they look red, that gives anxiety to somebody, right? That'll give you anxiety. But if you know that it's normal or it's common for people who are going through maybe perimenopause like myself, at least you know you're not alone. This too shall pass, I promise. Let's try it. I'm gonna open it up here for the first time. There we go. If this works instantly, wow, I'll be impressed. I just put a tiny bit about like a pea size, and I'm just gonna start right at that red spot. So instantly there's a cooling effect for sure. So there's no scent to this, and it's not very thick. It actually feels beautiful against my skin. A little goes a long way. You don't need more than that. I may have put a little too much, but I'm going to start bringing it down my neck. It's been less than 5 minutes and the redness is gone. So normally it takes about 30 to 45 minutes, and that's only if my AC is running on blast, like it's freezing cold in here. Magical cream. But before I for sure give it my 100% stamp of approval, I'm going to continue to test it out because I think this happens to me at least once a day. So stay tuned for a final review. Lights back on. I'm still wowed. My jaw is dropped to the floor. Wise Beauty. This is a newer brand to Sephora. I have used them for quite some time. If you are not new to my channel, you know that I use their cleansing oil. I'm a huge fan of their lip peptides. Love their eye masks. Oh, they've also got amazing exfoliating wipes. Wow. Okay, so this is the Wise Beauty, like a gloss hydrating lip mask. So as I, obviously put my makeup on, I like to keep my lips hydrated. I've used a little bit, but you get so much for your money. Like, this is a lot of product. This is such a nourishing lip mask that really deeply, it just hydrates and smooths and really leaves your lips just glossy. Wide Awake Brightening Eye Creams. So I'm going to be using this for the first time. I was lucky enough that they sent, thank you Wise, all 4 of their shades that they just launched at Sephora. I'm going to be using shade 02, which is their sheer pink, a neutral peach for light to medium skin tones. My eyes get very dry. So what I love about this is that this is supposedly a brightening eye cream. Gorgeous packaging. This is supposed to be used under makeup And what's so great about this as well is they have a cooling effect because of the metal head. So I'm going to go just right underneath the eyes. It's very sheer right away. It does remind me a lot of the YSL Touche Eclat. So it is super, super hydrating. It feels so good. You want to think of this like as a double shot of espresso, but for underneath your eyes. Now after this, I am done with my skincare and we're going to finally get into the makeup process. So you want to make sure your brows are nice and clean. Rare Beauty Eyebrow Gel. This is my go-to. I just got back from Hawaii with my family. We spent New Year's there. Happy New Year, by the way. Oh my goodness, I already love 2026. This is going to be a great year. This, my friends, swimming, sweating, wearing this all day into the evening, you know, like never pilled once. Kind of tap off the excess and I will just gently comb through my brows and then I will go in with Anastasia's Microstroke brow pen to fill in any sparse areas. And that's it. I save tons of time with my eyebrows now. I found a formula for myself. And by the way, it's so personal. So for some people, the Rare Beauty Brow Gel does not work because their hair is too thick. I wish I had that problem. Anastasia Beverly Hills Microstroke. We're going to lightly go in where I see any sparse areas. I like to start from the mid-brow. Then I go gently to the tail. I plucked off my tails of my eyebrows. Naturally, our brows go down, right? Like there is a little bit of an arch to them, and then there's a little bit of a downward slope. I prefer to create my face and to make the illusion of, at least, that my face is going up the opposite way. So I just got an email from Sephora Squad. I'm officially have started my Sephora Squad duties. I've got a few exciting brand deals and partnerships already, and we are doing a Sephora Squad Class of 2026 retreat, I think is what they're calling it, I believe, end of this month, end of January. And I just got like our outline and schedule, and what I love, they gave us a dress code for each event, which I think there's like 5 of them. So excited to meet everybody in person. Just a new adventure. Talk about the product. This is my favorite, and it will be until somebody invents a finer, which I doubt you're able to, but this is the only brow product that I know of, and I've tried tons, that creates hair-like strokes, like you see here. The purpose of this is just to fill it in. Like notice how I'm just I'm strategically placing each hair-like stroke where I basically don't have hair, but it's all about how heavy-handed you are or not, right? So you just have to practice. You can even practice on your hand. Like I did this about 1,000,000 times. And you just learn how to use the product and learn how to apply it, and it will do wonders, I promise. This is the Armani Luminous Silk Perfect Natural Glow Foundation. I tested it out on that other app, starts with an I. Basically, what you need to do if you're interested in getting this, and this helped me so much, is go to the Sephora app and find this product, scroll through the different pictures, and you'll see basically your old shade. If you use the Armani original formula, check out that shade number and it will basically tell you what shade you are in this current new formula. I will link everything below, but I'm using all Refer brushes. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. Now, what I have really love about this new formula is that it feels a lot lighter, but it is light to medium buildable coverage, basically. And I still like to show my freckles, even though I'm going more for a full glam. I don't want to necessarily cake it on. And right away, it just evens out my skin. It looks smooth. It looks radiant. And I'm just going to lightly press in the formula. Especially in Hawaii, you know, it's super humid over there. So I was testing out this formula specifically to see if it would last through the humidity, which it definitely did. Did I have to touch myself up? Absolutely. But it still gave me enough coverage for, I would say, at least 10 to 11 hours, laying out by the pool and sweating. And okay, so I put on, I would say 3 solid pumps of this foundation, just because I'm going definitely more for a more glam look. This is the Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Concealer. I have 2 shades, 4.5 and 5. So I like to go lighter under the eyes. I'm trying not to get it into my fine lines, the concealer. So I'm just going to do one little dot there, right like mid area. I'm going to do just a little bit right there at the bridge of the nose to the mid forehead. My forehead is extra big, so extra dots for that. I'm going to do the tip of the nose. Now I'm going to go in with a darker shade. I'm going to go around the nostril. I don't like thick concealers. I like to be able to build my makeup over time. I just find that if you have both the concealer and their foundation, whatever brand, I think using it at the same time will only benefit you. Their formulas are meant to work together, right? So they're not going to be fighting each other. You won't peel. Outside corners for a lifted effect and around the mouth area. Okay, here we are. We're done. Starting to get hot again. I'm going to turn on the AC. Okay. Look how beautiful this is. Turned out so pretty. Let's do a little bronzer. We're going to do only creams for now. House Labs. Now, I know House Labs, most of their shades is more of a contour shade, which is on the cooler side. Now, their shade Silhouette is definitely more of a bronzer. I'm not going to contour. I'm just going to place this maybe a little higher than I would if I were applying their contour shade. I have it in Angle, I believe, and Chisel. So I am going to start just by lightly, because this is very pigmented. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful formula, actually. I really do love it. I don't like to go past the outer corner of my eye. I don't want to drag my face down. I want to lift up. So if that's the case, I'm going basically like mid-ear, but this area, right? I'm not going to go down here. And then I'm going to go up towards the temples to the top of my ear. Now I've got big ears, so it's going to be different for everybody. I'm just going to do actually a line from the end of the tail of my brow. And I'm always going, if notice, I'm always going upwards, diagonal, never straight across. If you want a lifted look. If you don't, then to each their own, all good. And then because this is so creamy, I'm going to just start there for bronze the nose a little bit. I just love a multi-use product, right? So you don't just use this for like where you normally bronze or contour. You can also do it for your lips. It's similar to the Victoria Beckham contour stylus. This is not as precise as the stylus. Here, let me show you the difference. So when it comes to like the nose, lips, if you're like new to all of this, I would definitely use more of the precise contour stick from Victoria Beckham. But what Victoria Beckham doesn't have is the range of shades like House Labs does. To blend this, I'm going to go in with Nikki LaRose and BK Beauty's. This is her volume 2 set. This is N19. I believe they're going to start selling singles, like single brushes, but look how pretty that is. It just adds that perfect color where the sun naturally hits. I have to say I was pretty good with my SPF when I was in Hawaii with my family, though I was so tempted. I felt it. I felt me slowly burning, and they had this like community jug of SPF, so I definitely used it. But normally I would have come back with twice the amount of freckles and actual color to where I didn't have to put more self-tan on last night. So if you are wearing, let's say, anything that shows off the neck or wearing anything off the shoulder, I think it's really important to not forget to contour or bronze your jawline. It just adds that extra definition from your profile. Now I'm going in with a Angie Hot and Flashy A504 blending brush, and I'm just going to softly blend the contour or the bronzer that I put as basically lip liner on my lips. But it's my favorite step. I just love it. I love the illusion that makeup can make, but subtle, not like stage makeup. I know this is an older product, but I just discovered it. This is the Shua Mera, I think. Look at this eyelash curler. It is perfect for anyone who has eyelashes naturally point down or go straight across, or you're missing some. And it just fits perfectly. So I like to actually use my ring finger and gently lift up my eyelid, get as close to the root as possible, and gently squeeze, hold it there. Make sure you're going upwards. You want to really think about that, because when you think upwards and outwards and intentionally apply your makeup, makes a big difference than just going through the motions. And now I'm going to go to the center part of my lashes. Do the same thing, squeeze and hold just slightly pumping. Then I go and do the last section, the end of the eye. This has been a game changer for me in my lashes. I mean, I don't have a perfect line of voluptuous lashes, but whatever I do have, this little thing right here grabbed onto it and curled it as if it was its last curl. I am going to go in actually with a different type of concealer. I'm going to use, this is very intense, very pigmented. You can easily go wrong and put too much and then you have to take everything off. I've made that mistake, so don't follow in my footsteps. You don't want to go directly onto the face. This is a brightener type concealer. This is in the shade medium. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. Since I'm going for more of that fuller coverage, like full glam look, I'm going to just go right where I put my 4.5 Armani concealer. You see how I like, you don't even see any product because I am just so lightly, very lightly placing that. And then I will go in with a beauty blender, say City Set Lightweight Setting Spray. This is the travel size. You want to damp your beauty blender or whatever you're using. So I just want to push in the product a little bit and just spread out the product, because even though it's so subtle, you just don't want it clumping. And I'm just going to do a nice little generous spray using that Say setting spray just to set what I've already applied and also just to rehydrate the skin a little bit. So beautiful spray. This is the first time I'm using it. Evenly distributed, doesn't just spit out at you, and it is so light. Okay, so since I took off some of the foundation I got on my lips, I'm going to try a different lip product. This is Rare Beauty's new lip balm in Easygoing, and it just fits. The shape of this is very unique. It just fits right onto your lips. Like, it has this horizontal shape. There's no scent, and it goes on clear. There are different shades, Friendly, and this is in the shade Uplifting. Really beautiful, doesn't leave your lips too moist or like shiny because it's not a liquid peptide. It's more of a actual balm slash like chapstick. Now for my favorite, let's do cream blush. Haus Labs Blush Balm in the shade Glassy Acai. And it's just this gorgeous like maroon burgundy berry type shade. I'm going to just put some on the back of my hand because this is extra pigmented, as you can see. I'm going to use Nikki LaRose's N14 brush. It's not too dense, but it's dense enough to where you can be strategic wherever you're placing the blush, especially when it's this pigmented. I'm just going to focus right onto the top of the cheekbone, again not going past that outside corner of the eye, and just tapping softly. Look how gorgeous that is. It just leaves that glow, yet it's pigmented, but it doesn't break up the rest of your products that you've placed. I'm going to use the tried and true, everyone loves this formula. This is Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, Party All Night, just to set all my cream products because I'm going to be going in with powder next. You can feel how this specific setting spray is just going to work. Okay, so next I'm going to go in using Huda Beauty's Loose Baking and Setting Powder. Huda Beauty is coming or has already launched her newest formula when it comes to powders. I cannot wait to try it. I ordered it. I believe it may have just arrived, but we'll save that for a different video. I'm going to go in using a pressing powder powder puff. I love these one size powder puffs. You can buy them individually on Sephora, but they come in different sizes. I love this because not only is it very thin, as you can see, but it's very precise. I like to put powder onto the cap. If you want to be able to see the actual product evenly distributed at the tail end of your powder puff, then you don't go directly onto your face yet. You have to press it into the palm of your hand to even it out even more to make sure that it doesn't look cakey. I used to be terrified of using powders until I learned this specific technique. Okay, so even before that though, you want to go back in with your concealer brush. So this is so important. You want to take a mirror, you want to look up, keep your head straight, like my chin is straight, I'm just looking up, and I'm pushing in any excess product that I see. Then I go in with this already set powder. Oh, there's a little bit more product. And just softly press right underneath the eye. Okay, because once you use this, and let's say you forget that part of not pressing in any excess, it's stuck there, right? You're going to see build up when it comes to your powder and your concealer and your whatever else that got into your fine lines. You're going to see that, and it's going to be pretty obvious. Okay, so next I'm going to use the same powder puff, and I'm going to do a form of baking, but not necessarily baking. So I'm going to go right underneath where I put the cream bronzer, and I'm going to go from where I put the concealer on the corner of my mouth, and I'm going to just lightly tap in the powder. I liked the way that it looked on Andrea Ali when she did this step. It still looked very intentional, yet didn't look so cakey that she looked like AI, you know what I mean? So next I'm going to go in with Huda Beauty's same powder, her Easy Bake powder in Cherry Blossom Cake. I'm going to take a Rephr 15 brush, and I'm just going to brighten up because it is that cherry color, like that pinkish tone that you see there. I want to be very careful with this because I don't want it everywhere on my face. I just want it precisely just in the corners, just to brighten it up a little bit. I do want to add, now I rarely use this color because it's so pigmented. One of my favorite powder blushes on the market, the YSL Make Me Blush. This is in the shade 83, lightly, because this could go wrong so quickly. And I'm just going to go over where I put that Haus Labs blush balm. But look at that, it works so perfectly. Wow, this brush is amazing. Rephr makes the best brushes. I'm just saying it right now. Everything is made by hand in Japan, and I hope one day they'll want to collab with me. I have an idea or two, but I'm no professional makeup artist, so I think they only do this with professional makeup artists. But a girl could only dream. Okay, next I'm going in using tons of products. Blame Andrea Ali for this. And I'm using the Ambient Hourglass lighting palette, and I'm going to use basically these 3 shades I think she used. And I'm just going to mix it all together. Them as bronzer, highlighter, and blush all in one, along with even some, like, you can even use this as a setting powder. But this just creates more of that gorgeous, luminous highlighting shine. Okay, I'm going to go in with the liquid eyeshadow Armani in 25M. A lot of people like to go straight onto the lid. Now, for me, I'm going to put some on the back of my hand, excuse the blush, and I'm going to prime it. And I'm just going to focus this shade onto the center of the mobile lid. And it doesn't dry as quick as like the Makeup by Mario liquid shadows dry, and it also isn't as thick. So you could definitely be a little bit less careful than me. So there's that. Then I'm going to go in using Makeup by Mario's Master Mattes palette. You've seen me use this a lot if you're not new here. I'm going to just brighten up the corners of my eyes. What I love about this specific white color is that it's not too white to where it can sometimes, for me at least, look a little like clown makeup if I use white. Brighten up the corners. You see that? Look at the pigment there. It is very minimal, especially if you tap off the excess and pat it. I'm going to go in using Matte 9 and Mix Matte 12, which is that black shade that you see. And I'm looking straight into the mirror and just at the very corner of my eye and focusing it, like basically doing a 7, a shape of a number 7, just until you feel the start of that brow bone right underneath it. Then you want to curve it just halfway following that brow bone. just like a 7. So now I'm going in with just a very clean blending brush, and I'm just continuing to blend with no product. I didn't add any product. I'm actually wanting to take some off and just blend everything to make it all look cohesive and less like harsh. Okay, next I'm going to be using Kosas new, very new. They just came out with these powdered highlighters. I love me a powdered highlighter. I think that there's a lot of cream products out there in the market right now, but I think we overlook sometimes just going back to basics. These are some great powder highlighters. Spray the brush, that is, so that we can really see the highlight that I'm going to add on the bottom where I put the Makeup by Mario eyeshadow. And I'm just going to go right underneath the bottom lashes and gently just tap in. It's a similar color to that caramel eyeshadow color I used from his Master Mattes palette, just to kind of highlight underneath. You see how pretty that is? Let me just quickly swatch these gorgeous Kosas highlighters for you because they are so pigmented, and I just think you deserve to see it since I'm already talking about them. So this is the shade Opaline or Opaline. Swatch for you. Look at that. This just makes me so happy. Embered, which is what I have on the bottom lash. Such a pretty bronze, goldish copper tone. We've got Haloed. This is more of a, I would say, like a rose gold, not chunky, which is important. It also gives off that like wet look, kind of. Then we have Gilded. Ooh, that is so pretty. Ugh, ugh. God, I just want to bathe in these. This is the Glimmer Rose. There we go. There she is. This is the new formulation of their Dior Backstage Glow Maximizer palette. This is in the palette 003 Pearly Peach Glow. And I'm going to use this shade right here and go where I used initially Makeup by Mario's, that first white eyeshadow shade. Highlight just the tear duct area. Look at that. Just so pretty. It really just opens the eye. Next, I'm going to I've been using this my whole trip in Hawaii, and I absolutely love it. And I know this is luxury, and I have always been an advocate for using drugstore mascara, but part of my job now is to try out new products and to let you know if I like them or not, and if it's worth your money. This is definitely worth it. I like it because, especially for my sparse lashes, regardless of if I've curled it properly or not, this really lengthens, but not right away. So here, you're going to see how big of a difference this actually makes, and how I possibly, depending on if I'm having a good eyelash day or not, I most likely won't need to put falsies on. I mean, I'm barely grazing my lashes. Do you see the difference? I'm gonna let that dry, do my bottom lashes. Finally, we will end with lips and maybe a little bit more highlighter. Blew my hair out. Tried to, at least. Let's do lips, shall we? To finish this off. This is like a marathon makeup routine. We're gonna start with Endless Cacao. I'm not sure how I feel about this shade. I know a lot of people use it. It's a great contour shade, but again, like I said earlier, warmer color toned makeup products and colors in general always look better on me. Going to overline a little bit where I see there's like a white line that we all have. You want to just follow that for the Cupid's bow. For the corners, I'm not necessarily following my lip line, but for the Cupid's bow and the opposite, right here, the bottom lip, I go outside my lip line. Okay, so now I'm going to blend using the Refer 23 brush. Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, and basically just go over where I just applied the Makeup Forever Endless Cacao color. So you see how that also helps with like just blending in that harsh, for me at least, contour color. Call my agent, and I'm going to use a Refer 21 brush. It's so important to use a lip brush or even this concealer brush because you just want everything to blend. Oh, sorry, this is not Call My Agent. This is Mame, M-A-M-E. So just using a little bit of that. This is really pretty. You can just leave it as is, but she did not. In fact, she went in with Call My Agent. These lipsticks are just beautiful. They're matte. They have a matte finish, but super hydrating and very pigmented, as you can see. Normally with a brush, it dilutes the pigment a little bit. Not with Hung Van Gogh's. This was one of my top 10 lipsticks of 2025. Yeah. Charlotte Tilbury, Kim KW, which is more of like a nude, another iconic color, I would say, from Charlotte Tilbury's line. But she just went straight in like this, and then she used her brush. Work it. This is why she's a professional now. Sorry. Oh, this is really pretty. Okay. I'm not as impressed with their original formula. I find it too sticky and not effective whatsoever. But the new Dior formula, this is their Dior Addict Lip Glow Oil. I just got more shades. OMG, I am so impressed. I love how hydrating these are, and the sparkle finish that you see is so subtle. It's not tacky, meaning like corny or cheap looking, but I can wear these alone without any type of lip balm or even lipstick or any hydrating lip product that I would have to normally use for underneath the original formula of these. This is definitely reinvented, but in a way better, like now we're talking. Ugh. Though Andrea did not use Shine, I have this. This wasn't released yet, I don't think, when she shot that video. Just saying. If I wasn't going on my 5th hour of doing this, I would add a pigmented, like a Makeup by Mario Perfect Brown eyeliner at my waterline if I were to add anything to this look, but we're not doing that because I'm over it, and so are you. I can tell. I can feel it. I'm going to go in with Nikki's N14. This is another underrated product from Violette FR. Could not mention her. This brand is amazing. This is something that no one's ever talked about from what I've seen. This is their highlighting balm. Reminds me a little bit, but not as wet as Victoria Beckham's highlighting stick. This is such a beautiful balm that has just a great balance of shine, pigment. Highlighting stick can be a little too hydrating or wet looking, that if you were to put it, let's say, onto the mobile lid, your mobile lid, then it would just look like you got rained on just your eyelids, you know? Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit, I'm going to use my finger. This is a lot more solid, grounded, if you will. We're almost there. And that's a wrap. What do we think? Do we think this is going to be one of my Sephora Squad retreat looks? Huh? I think so. I think it's gorgeous. Anyway, thanks to Andrea Ali for the inspiration. She's amazing. Make sure you check out her YouTube channel if you love makeup like I do. And don't forget to, as usual, hit that subscribe button, bell notification, because I'm going to be doing another giveaway here soon. So make sure you hit that bell notification, comment below, let me know what you want to see next, and your thoughts on my final look. Until next time, love you guys. Bye.